It's Saturday morning. Hi, folks. I'm Meteorologist Ryan Hoke with today's edition of the Hokey video blog. We've got a busy 48 hours coming our way, so let's get right to the forecast. Let's start with this morning, though. Holy cow, is it cold outside? Not as cold as Thursday morning, and thankfully we don't have the winds to go along with it, but the single digits, they are definitely in full force across the area. 9 in Metro Louisville now, and thankfully no snow on the radar to show for it. Out to our west, that's where we find big old area of high pressure that's centered across portions of western Kentucky, and that's going to be moving eastward as we go throughout the day. And as it marches eastward, we will be seeing a few bits of wind shift there and maybe even some slightly warmer temperatures as we go throughout the afternoon. 26 for the high today, if you can really call that warm. But look what's going on this morning. 0 in Paola, North Vernon, 1 in Corydon, 3 degrees in E-Town, 10 in Munfordville. Well, no matter how you slice it, you're going to have to layer up today, this morning especially, and it's just cold out there. So cold, in fact, that it's colder than Alaska. Most of it, believe it or not. That 1 degree in Seymour, colder than all the observations we have listed here, even up toward the Arctic Circle and Wainwright. 32 in Anchorage. That seems pretty nice right now by the standard that we've set lately here. Now, this is not too atypical, believe it or not. You get these big ridges of high pressure out in the Pacific, and you get kind of a area of low pressure, a big old trough over the eastern half of the nation. And so that drives up the warmer temperatures in Alaska while we get the colder temps down here, and especially along the Alaskan coast. Sometimes in the winter, it's not actually all too bad, especially out toward Juneau, which has a climate that's not too far off from what you see in Portland and Seattle along the west coast of the Pacific Northwest. Now, hourly forecast today takes us up to 16 by 11 o'clock. And, of course, we get up to 26 by 3 o'clock. That's our high temperature today. Plenty of sunshine with that aforementioned high pressure. Tonight, we only drop slowly through the mid to lower 20s. I think with the clouds moving in as we head toward morning, that'll stave off any really cold temperatures. We'll get down to about 21 for a low temperature tonight. So there's that high pressure as we go throughout early Sunday morning, midnight there. That's how things look. And you'll notice the clouds there north and west of town. So that means for today, plenty of sunshine. Not really as windy. That's some good news there. I know a lot of folks are sick of the wind and the cold. At least we can take one of those components out. All right, and here's the thing that we've been talking about pretty much endlessly here for a bit about this Sunday night system. You'll see that this is the latest North American mesoscale model, the NAM model. I've not opted to use the RPM. I don't think it's got the right idea here. But where you see the pink is where wintry mix is possible. And let's break this out for you. I think sleet and freezing rain will be an issue north of the Ohio River. South of it, south of Louisville, this is going to be mainly a rain event for you folks down here. Now, just because you're in pink up here in southern Indiana doesn't mean that you're going to have a solid area of sleet and freezing rain. For one, I think that the sleet will be very brief and at the onset. For two, the freezing rain that does fall as we go throughout the night on Sunday into Monday morning, that line where freezing rain and just plain rain is will be creeping northward as warmer air flows in at the surface. That's some good news for the Monday morning commute, but not all of us are out of the woods. If you're north of Scottsburg, Indiana, you'll want to monitor this forecast for the Monday morning commute. It could be a problem for you folks. Here's how it goes through as we go through time on the NAM model. Closer view here, giving us the temperatures as well, so we can see how these are reacting. You'll notice by 5 o'clock, we're already at near 40 degrees here in Metro Louisville on Sunday. Below freezing, though, up here in Seymour. And this initial batch of precipitation could be very well sleet that we see moving in. Liquid rain for sure, though, across our southern counties as we're well into the 40s. That should melt everything. Here's the problem. As we go throughout Sunday at 10 p.m., notice how we are very close to freezing across a lot of southern Indiana right here, across our second to most northern tier of counties there, from Jasper to North Vernon, 33, 34, and then we're right at freezing from Bedford to Seymour. The computer models do not do a good job at all of handling entrenched low-level Arctic air, the kind that we're dealing with now. The Arctic air is going to be really entrenched over southern Indiana during this time. And that's why we really have to watch this. It may be 2, maybe 3 degrees colder in Indiana than what we see here if the model is not handling this right. There are some indications, though, that the latest batch of models has been pushing this northward. That's good news. And I think to some degree there's some verification that'll happen there as well. I think we will see the freezing line north of Louisville at this point. I think Louisville, while we're not out of the woods on this one yet, our risk of significant icing is pretty low at this point. And the risk of significant icing in general is fairly low. This is going to be a scenario where I think we could see a tenth of an inch of ice accumulation in some places, but that's not going to be widespread. You folks up here, that's where we're going to be watching for that as we go through time. By 4:30 a.m., this is when you're waking up with us and sunrise is beginning here. 35 here in Louisville. You'll see how we do have temperatures still close to freezing. Lawrence, Jackson, Jennings counties. We're going to have to watch you guys. Again, freezing line will be moving north through the morning, but it may get stuck up there. That's something that we're really going to be keeping an eye on for freezing rain potential. By 11:30, all of us are above freezing. I think at this point the trend is that by mid-morning, we will all be above freezing. By this time, we'll all be seeing plain rain. The problem should alleviate by that point. So if you've got a later morning commute and you're in southern Indiana, that's probably a better scenario than if you've got an earlier one when temperatures could be near that crucial point. Again, the model's not handling this well. So, on the back side of this, we could see some of these backlash snow showers, snow flurries as we go throughout Monday afternoon into Monday evening. I don't think they'll be a really big deal because we'll be so front-loaded with precipitation on this system that the backside really won't have too much. And then we clear things out completely by Tuesday. In fact, I've gone partly sunny on Tuesday, a high temperature near 30, but probably dropping a bit as we go through the day. Here's the NAM's idea on ice accumulations. Now this is going to be from freezing rain and the potential for a little bit of sleet as well. You'll see how a bulk of this is up toward Indy. The I-70 corridor, this could be a real problem. If you've got travel plans up toward Indianapolis as you go throughout your Sunday night into your Monday, it might be a little dicey at times up there with those colder temperatures up that way. Bedford, Seymour, Salem, even Jasper, North Vernon, you guys need to be on standby for any sort of ice accumulation up to a tenth of an inch up there. This isn't going to be ice storm criteria, but it may very well get up to winter weather advisory criteria. The Weather Service is definitely monitoring that. Could cause some inconveniences, and if you're up there, already plan ahead for your Monday morning commute to take a few extra minutes and to definitely be careful as you're up there. So by Sunday afternoon, this is our forecast now, no models here. Precipitation moves in. I think it'll be initially sleet because we'll be what's called wet bulbing. Our temperatures will be a little bit lower throughout a very significant portion of the atmosphere to allow those partially melted snowflakes to refreeze into sleet. But pockets of freezing rain definitely moving in. Even for us here in Metro Louisville, Sunday afternoon, probably 4 or 5 o'clock, could be a time to watch for us here. But it'd be very brief because by Sunday night, the freezing rain is north of Louisville. Rain along and south of I-64. So folks, up toward, I would say Sellersburg, on toward the Starlight area, even toward Du Bois County, and up to Seymour, you guys will be having some issues Sunday night with some icing problems. But temperatures will be slowly warming, so it gets better from south to north on Sunday night, at least how it looks now. Monday morning, freezing rain continues in our very northern counties. Lawrence, Jackson, Jennings, even Scott, even portions of Orange, Du Bois. Will be watching you guys as well. It depends on how low those temperatures are by Monday morning. Most folks, though, across our 29 counties, remember we serve a big area, will be seeing liquid rain. The Kentucky side of the river, now, while I wouldn't have zero concern for this, I would have limited concern because at this point, I think it's going to be a rain event for you folks down there. Temperatures warming still through Monday morning. I think all of us above freezing by the time we head through portions, I would say, of Monday morning. So freezing rain mainly for Indiana late Sunday. The slick roads are possible. Rain south of Metro Louisville, just for a little bit of review, if you want kind of a bow to put on top of all that. All right, here's the 7-day breakdown. You'll notice that this is actually not the entirely correct 7-day breakdown here. This is the evening version. I'll just kind of scratch out some of here what we've got, but the temperatures are correct. So as we go throughout your Sunday, 35 degrees is going to be the high temperature, 35 on Monday, and certainly we will be clearing things out as we go throughout what looks to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't pay attention to the text here. That is incorrect. That's left over from an old forecast, but definitely as we head toward what looks to be Friday there, temperatures will be rising into the middle 30s. So that's how it goes around here. we're kind of on the edge between plain rain and freezing rain. We'll be watching that, especially for southern Indiana. We'll have an update as we go throughout tomorrow morning on Wave 3 News Sunrise, and we'll take you through the event itself tomorrow during Wave 3 News at 6:11. I'm meteorologist Ryan Hoke. Make it a great Saturday.